Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone out there is doing well. Today's video is going to be the 300 subscriber special. So I had this vote a little while ago, 300 subscribers. We did surpass that number. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this video. And it was kind of a split between personal plans for dividends and lifestyle in Canada, and also future portfolio structure after reaching my income goal. Almost 50-50. So I figure I'll try to put them together here in one video for you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and hit the like button if you're enjoying these videos. Guys, as always, nothing here is financial advice. So let's get straight into it. So we'll start with the portfolio, guys. Here is the current portfolio. It's kind of been this way for a little while now. I did make some changes at the beginning of the year. I'd sold out of a couple funds, HTAE from Harvest and GDV from Brompton. And basically what I did was I bought QDay, and then I think I bought some C Day with that as well. So these are two funds that I'm very happy with. These are the Daymax funds from Hamilton. And the reason I like them is basically you are getting 100% exposure to their CMVP indexes, like their champion tech or dividend indexes. And then they are using the leverage just to write those call options. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds with a high yield. I'm happy with those. But the plan basically is this, guys. So I'm 94% of the way to the $100,000 in dividends. That was just a goal I set because that was about what I was making at my day job. So I thought, okay, I'll match my employment income that I had with my dividends. Which actually, if you think about it, the dividends and distributions have already surpassed that because of the taxes that come with your employment income and all the rest of the deductions, right? Anyways, how will I structure the portfolio after that? Well, you can see a few things. HHIS is my number one income source right now. You can see it's making up about 31% of total income. USCL is in second, and then you have HYLD, CDAY, and HDIV. And it's kind of the same with the assets. USCL is my top position, and then HHIS, and then HYLD, and then HDIV, right? So basically, guys, my plan is to continue to scale up HDIV, which I have been doing. I've been, slowly scaling it up, but I really want to make sure that HDIV is at least, I would say, 20% of the portfolio. I really like all of the funds I have. I'm very happy with the performance, even USCL that I've kind of been beating on a little bit with some of the dividend fluctuations. I've been pretty happy overall with how things have been. I'm really in the green pretty much on anything, as you can see here when you factor in the distributions, besides this Bitcoin fund, just because of the way Bitcoin's been. But that's kind of the plan, you guys. I feel like HYLD and HDIV is really like they're the dynamic duo. They're kind of really all you need. I mean, everything else is when you really think about it, everything else is got overlap in it as well. They're just different funds and different strategies and all the rest. But I feel like the performance and the history and the structure of both HDIV and HYLD, really, I could probably sell everything off and just put it into these two funds. Not that that's what I'm planning on doing, but so that's sort of the plan, guys. Continue to scale HDIV, HYLD. I did make a video the other day. I will probably be making some swaps out of something like USCL and shuffling that into HDIV and just continuing to grow that position. I do want the portfolio to continue to have a high yield and high monthly income, but I also want it geared a little bit more towards some long-term growth and natural dividend growth, which I'm seeing in HYLD and HDIV. So that is sort of the plan, you guys. And there's other funds out there too that I may consider. PayG, maybe some international exposure. I know IMAX from Hamilton is coming out too, which I think might come into HDIV or maybe HYLD. We'll see if they put it into one of those, but some international exposure would be great. But at the end of the day, guys, it's going to be continuing to scale the income up, but also tilting it a little bit more towards that long-term growth, which would mean probably a little bit less into something like HHIS and a little bit more into stuff like HDIV. So that's the goal, guys. And of course, I'll continue to post those monthly portfolio updates to keep everybody posted for the journey. And as far as lifestyle, guys, I made this little note here. So the financial freedom lifestyle here in Canada, it can really be anything that you want it to be. And a lot of these things you could do whether you're financially free or working, retired or not, right? The thing that I'm finding is when you're not working full time, you do have more time to really hone in on some of these things and become really good at them or really get them dialed in. So the first one is slow mornings, easing off the cortisol. The last 15 years, I've been doing shift work. It's been bouncing back between night shift and day shift. And I've really been finding getting the body back in the natural rhythm, waking up at a decent time, not having that stress feeling that the sound of the alarm clock going off and you've got to run out the door to make it to work on time and commute halfway across the city and stuff like that. That's been really nice. Travel plans, well, right now the airlines are having some fuel shortages. Prices are kind of crazy, but my wife and I have decided we are going to do some traveling this summer, probably just here within Canada. We do want to go over to the East Coast. We do want to see Montreal, Toronto, stuff like that. So that is definitely in the plans. And yeah, I'll let you guys know where we end up going, but we definitely do want to see some stuff. Domestic, international, I think at least for the short term, it's probably going to be domestic just because of how things are. And we do want to stay close to home. We've got some family and stuff like that that we want to spend time with this summer. And sharpening health, this one is very important. This one is important in all seasons of life, but basically physical, spiritual, mental, all of those things really tie in together. And if you have the time, if you're retired or if you have time in your day, I would say just really make sure that you set some time for yourself to focus on these things. Fitness is something I've always been interested in, so that has been, continually throughout my life I've been on that. But sleep has been something I've found I've been working on a little bit more. Mindset, more podcasts, I would say. I want to start reading books again, things like that. Guys, the health thing is probably the most important because if you are not in good health, you can't look after your family, you can't help look after anybody else. So keeping yourself in good health is a very, very top priority for me. Now, this one is interesting, exploring options for a mortgage using dividend income. I have been talking to my mortgage broker. So basically, if you've been following my channel, my wife and I sold off a couple properties last year and cashed out, and we built up the portfolio. We are renting right now, which we find pretty good. It's actually been a great experience, but having a home base, having a place to call your own is also a very nice feeling. If any of you guys own your own place, you know what I mean. Renting is just a little bit of a different feeling. You're not sure if you want to stay. Maybe you found a better deal somewhere else. Maybe you decided you want to move, to a different building or something. So we are looking into using our dividend income to qualify for a mortgage. And I'll let you know how that goes because I've never done this before, but I did talk to my mortgage broker and he did say it is possible. So potentially we will look at getting a mortgage, but either way, we definitely want to move. And that ties into finding a new home base. We've been here in Alberta for the last 3, 4 years, and all of our families in BC. We do miss a lot of things about living in BC, the lifestyle, the weather, just so many things, and especially our family and friends. So that's probably where we're going to end up moving. And I don't know exactly which city we're going to end up in yet, but we do know that we have been enjoying the condo living. We do want to live in a place that has a gym and some amenities in it because going from living in a house to a condo where you have kind of everything within reach is very, very nice that we found. We've lived in a townhouse, we've lived in a house, and now a condo. And I'd say condo is my favorite out of all of them. Just less maintenance, less overhead. It's just very much an easier lifestyle, especially if you have certain things like gyms, restaurants, whatever, close or inside your building. And of course, spend more time with family. That ties into all of those things. Moving back to BC, being able to go and stay with family and help them out with any things that are going on, and just spending time and enjoying it with our friends and family and enjoying life, guys. That's really what it's all about. When you can reach financial freedom, You want to do the things that you enjoy. You want to enjoy your life regardless of where you are. If you are still building financial freedom, if you've reached it, it's a never ending journey. There's always another hurdle to come across, but we've got to try to slow down and enjoy life. And that's something that I'm also trying to work on here. Feel like I've been getting better at it, but it's a process just like everything else, you guys. So just a quick snapshot of the lifestyle that we are trying to build here, using our dividends to kind of build just a slower pace, more comfortable life with me and my wife, and being able to be closer to family and live a lifestyle that we enjoy. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's just a snapshot of the lifestyle and the portfolio plans. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers. I really hope that you're enjoying these videos and finding value in them. I'm going to continue to keep putting out videos week after week. Make sure that you tune in, and I hope everyone out there has a great week. I'll catch you guys in the next video.